Welcome to Backstories, the podcast where we dig deep into the untold tales behind the people, places, and moments that shape our world. Every month, we'll uncover the hidden narratives that inspire, surprise, and challenge us. So, grab your headphones and get ready to journey into the past, one backstory at a time.
A first-time storyteller. This is Micki, the mix-up.
Hello. I actually was not planning on telling a story today, so I was just inspired to try it out. But mine is actually, funny enough, also the story of the day I was born, which I do not remember, but the story's been told to me over and over again throughout my life. So to give some context, I was born in the 90s. We were living in Los Angeles because my dad was pursuing a career as a hair metal band singer, so you can imagine what he looked like. And my mom was very much like a blonde valley girl. They drove a sports car, very cool people. So I was due in September. My parents had a wedding in August. So they drive down to San Diego for the wedding, ready to go. My mom's got her dress picked out, and the night before, all of a sudden she has some indigestion. She's like, something's weird about that Chinese food I just ate. I don't know, this is not good. So of course she was in labor with me, and being in San Diego, they hadn't really gone to San Diego that much, so they had two sets of directions. One was to the hospital. They were responsible enough to know to have directions to the hospital, but the other was, of course, to the San Diego Zoo. So my dad mixed up the directions in a panic, trying to get her to the hospital, and drove my mom to the San Diego Zoo. And I was coming very, very fast. So luckily, he was able to really quickly switch directions and get us to the hospital in time. But they always joke that I was almost born in the lobby of the hospital, barely made it to the bed. It was 15 minutes of labor by the time she got to the hospital. So I was almost born at the San Diego Zoo. But it's funny because my parents always said, oh, that's such a quintessential, so you to almost be born at the zoo. And I always, feel like I interpret it differently throughout the years. Sometimes I'm oh, yeah, well, when I was little, I always felt I love animals. I've always loved animals. So, yeah, it's quintessentially me. Then as I got older, I realized, oh, I'm super obedient. I just wanted to get out of my mom really quick. Just not be an inconvenience to anybody. Then, I don't know, other times I think it's just, I was so excited to get there and see everything. And then sometimes I think on bad days, I'm oh yeah, but that story's almost interesting. It's not quite interesting. I wasn't actually born at the zoo, but I was almost born at the zoo. So I think depending on the times of my life, I've always interpreted that story in different ways. But regardless of it being almost interesting, I love to hear it every year around my birthday. Somebody tells me the story again. So yeah.